Project management is often viewed as a discipline governed by frameworks, tools, and human behavior. But nature, with its self-organizing systems and animal strategies, mirrors many of the complexities faced in projects, from resource allocation to time management, team dynamics to risk mitigation. Nature doesn't use Gantt charts or Kanban boards, yet it manages ecosystems with stunning precision and balance. In this piece, we explore how principles observed in natural phenomena and animal behaviors can enrich project management thinking, improve leadership, and inspire sustainable, adaptive teams. What if the key to solving your project's biggest challenges lies not in the boardroom, but in the forest, the ocean, or the sky? Nature, through its systems, species, and survival strategies, offers profound lessons for managing complexity, fostering innovation, and adapting to change. From the resilience of trees to the collaboration of ants and the foresight of squirrels, nature has spent billions of years perfecting what we now try to master in project management. 1. The ant colony. Efficiency, division of labor, and collective intelligence. Ant colonies are marvels of decentralized coordination and efficiency, often cited as the pinnacle of self-organizing systems. Each ant has a clear role: scouts explore, workers gather food, soldiers defend, and the queen maintains the reproductive cycle. Despite having no central command, ants function seamlessly due to pheromone-based communication. These chemical trails not only guide others but fade over time, allowing the colony to dynamically optimize paths based on usage and results. This principle is directly applied in the ant colony optimization, ACO, algorithm, now used in project management to solve resource scheduling and critical path problems. In project teams, this reflects the concept of distributed leadership and agile responsiveness. Everyone plays a defined part, but the ability to adapt roles temporarily based on environmental feedback creates resilience. Ants also showcase how minimal resources can be maximized with alignment and synergy. There's no micromanagement, just clear purpose and feedback loops. This encourages PMs to trust their teams, reduce bottlenecks, and implement lightweight but effective tracking systems. Also, the concept of scaling, how ant colonies grow while preserving structure, can inspire project scalability without losing coherence. When under threat or when a better opportunity arises, the colony can pivot quickly, abandon a site, and relocate entirely. This adaptability without chaos shows the power of shared intelligence and low-friction communication. From sprint-based planning to decentralized task ownership, ants offer an ideal template for lean, scalable, and intelligent project systems. 2. The wolf pack. Leadership, trust, and hierarchical balance. Wolves thrive not through brute force, but through collaboration, trust, and keen situational awareness. A wolf pack is led by an alpha pair, not by dominance alone, but by proven wisdom, maturity, and ability to make decisions under pressure. These alphas are guardians of the group's cohesion and purpose. They don't dictate every move, instead, they observe, guide, and protect. This form of servant leadership is a powerful metaphor for project managers, strong leaders who empower rather than control. The pack operates with a balance between hierarchy and mutual support. Each wolf has a place, and they rotate roles based on necessity. For instance, older wolves often travel at the front to set the pace, while younger or injured ones are supported in the center. This shows the importance of adjusting team configurations based on energy, morale, and capability, not just titles. In complex projects, this means assessing emotional states and team fatigue as seriously as performance metrics. Wolves communicate through howls, body language, and eye contact, nonverbal cues that maintain cohesion and respond to changing conditions. This is akin to team dynamics where emotional intelligence and silent understanding often matter more than formal communication. Wolves also demonstrate remarkable coordination during hunts. Each one knows its role and trusts others to execute theirs. In PM, this reflects the value of aligned execution, where micro-planning is less important than shared strategy. When the pack moves, it does so with unity. They sense threats early and either avoid or confront them strategically. They protect the weak without sacrificing speed. A PM can draw lessons in empathy, resilience, and inclusive leadership from the elegant balance of strength and care in a wolf pack. 3. The beehive. Synchronization, productivity, and purpose alignment. Bees represent one of the most structured and harmonious examples of large-scale productivity in nature. Each bee belongs to a caste, workers, drones, or queen, and is assigned a role that evolves over its lifetime. Worker bees rotate tasks based on age and hive needs: cleaning, nursing, foraging, guarding. This dynamic task management ensures continuous adaptation to changing demands, mirroring task prioritization in agile sprints or Kanban systems. Bees communicate using the waggle dance, a precise movement that conveys distance, direction, and quality of food sources. This elegant non-verbal system shows how critical timely, efficient communication is for productivity. It also emphasizes data-driven decision-making. Bees choose food sources not based on instinct alone, but by analyzing multiple data points through peer feedback. The structure of the hive itself is a marvel. Hexagonal cells maximize space and resources. The entire hive works to maintain temperature, defend the queen, and ensure reproduction. This cooperative culture, where individual desires are secondary to collective purpose, offers a vital lesson in project alignment. Projects fail not due to lack of effort, but due to misaligned goals. Bees remind us that clarity of mission fuels momentum. During crises, cold weather, queen loss, or predator attacks, bees adapt. They cluster to maintain heat, rear a new queen, or temporarily shift duties to ensure survival. This versatility speaks to the importance of cross-functional training, role fluidity, and shared ownership in projects. When roles are too rigid, risk increases. When flexibility is encouraged, continuity is possible even in turbulence. Project managers can learn from the hive that efficiency does not mean rigidity, it means clarity, rhythm, and purpose-driven action. When teams are aligned and trust the process, even large, complex systems can function with elegance and resilience. 4. Trees and forest ecosystems. Patience, resilience, and interconnectedness. Trees may be rooted in place, but they are far from static. Forests represent deeply connected, adaptive systems where growth, survival, and regeneration operate on long-time scales. Trees communicate via underground fungal networks, called the wood wide web, sharing nutrients and sending distress signals when pests or drought threaten. Older trees often support younger ones through nutrient transfer, revealing a sophisticated interdependence that mirrors knowledge sharing and mentoring in project environments. The patience of a tree, growing slowly, building resilience over years, is a metaphor for sustainable project planning. Not all projects demand speed. Some require vision, pacing, and the capacity to withstand environmental pressures. Like trees that adjust growth based on sunlight or wind exposure, teams must flex around shifting conditions without compromising the core structure. Diversity in forests, multiple species, layers of growth, and varied roles, fosters resilience. Similarly, project teams thrive when diverse skills, perspectives, and experiences are integrated. Monocultures fail under pressure, diverse systems adapt. The lesson is clear. Long-term success favors complexity managed through harmony, not uniformity. When disaster strikes, fire, storm, or disease, forests recover not through individual strength, but through ecosystem coordination. Seeds dormant for years sprout after a fire. Some trees even depend on destruction to renew. This regenerative aspect parallels how project failures, if viewed correctly, plant seeds for innovation and future strength. Project managers must see the forest, not just the tree. Big picture thinking, holistic stakeholder engagement, long-term sustainability, and silent but steady progress are the hallmarks of both healthy ecosystems and enduring projects. The forest teaches us to value roots, relationships, and time itself. 5. The squirrel. Planning, foresight, and resource management. Squirrels are the quiet strategists of nature. At first glance, their behavior may seem chaotic, darting around trees, burying nuts in countless locations. But beneath this surface lies a masterclass in foresight and decentralized resource management. Squirrels don't just stash food randomly, they engage in a technique called scatter hoarding, storing small caches of food across a broad area to reduce the risk of total loss. This mirrors the principles of risk diversification in project management. avoiding placing all critical resources or dependencies in one place. Their memory is astonishing. Squirrels remember the general area and conditions where they buried food, using environmental cues to recover them even months later. This reflects the need for knowledge documentation, tracking, and retrieval systems in long-term projects. A squirrel's ability to retrieve stored resources under pressure, like during winter, models excellent contingency planning. Project managers can learn from this: strategic buffering, scheduling slack time, and building resource caches. Time, people, funds for the unknown can preserve project integrity under duress. Squirrels also reassess their environment constantly. If a threat arises or a cache is compromised, they recalibrate without panic. This agility in plan revision parallels how project baselines must be revisited when assumptions fail. Their behavior even includes deceptive caching, pretending to bury food while watching eyes are near, which illustrates risk perception and protective strategy when sensitive data or intellectual property is involved. Squirrels don't hoard for hoarding's sake, they prepare for predictable scarcity. In project terms, this translates to the ability to anticipate future challenges, budget cuts, staff absences, or external dependencies, and act well in advance. The key takeaway? Great project management isn't about reacting when winter comes. It's about planning for it before the first snowflake falls. 6. Migratory birds. Navigation, collaboration, and adaptive strategy. The migration of birds, especially species like geese and storks, demonstrates one of the most extraordinary feats of coordination and resilience in the animal kingdom. These birds fly thousands of kilometers across continents, navigating by magnetic fields, stars, sun position, and landmarks. Despite harsh conditions, changing climates, and dangerous terrain, they make these journeys with remarkable precision, reminding project managers of the value of long-range planning mixed with real-time adaptability. Migratory birds fly in V formation, where the lead bird breaks the wind resistance, allowing others to conserve energy. The leader rotates periodically, ensuring no individual becomes exhausted. This principle applies directly to shared leadership in teams, where responsibilities are rotated, and no one person bears the entire burden of project pressure. It emphasizes the importance of empathy and support within teams and the strategic distribution of mental and physical effort. These birds are acutely responsive to environmental changes. If weather conditions shift or an obstacle appears, the flock can alter its path collectively without losing coherence. This mirrors how agile teams must navigate change, pivoting around obstacles while still progressing toward the end goal. The concept of minimum viable direction, a flexible path rather than fixed milestones, fits perfectly with the migratory model. Also, younger birds learn the route by following the elders, a natural mentorship process where knowledge transfer is embedded in the journey itself. In projects, this highlights how less experienced members learn by observing veterans, creating a dynamic and evolving skill set across the organization. Migratory birds teach us that even in high-stakes, long-haul efforts, success depends on shared vision, distributed effort, adaptive thinking, and passing knowledge forward. Navigation isn't just about maps, it's about knowing how to adjust the journey while never losing sight of the destination. 7. Octopuses. Problem-solving, creativity, and autonomy. Octopuses are often hailed as some of the most intelligent creatures in the ocean, capable of solving puzzles, escaping traps, using tools, and even displaying personality traits. What makes them especially fascinating for project management insights is their neurological structure. 2/3 of their neurons reside in their arms, giving each limb a degree of autonomy in processing and action. Imagine a team where each member, like an octopus arm, can think independently yet coordinate seamlessly with a central vision. This is the future of empowered project teams. Their flexibility is not just neurological but physical and strategic. Octopuses can change color and texture to camouflage or signal, squeeze through tiny openings, and rapidly adapt to unfamiliar environments. In PM terms, this represents the ultimate adaptability in VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous scenarios. When a rigid hierarchy would fail, the octopus's decentralization and improvisational nature allow it to thrive. Octopuses display exploratory behavior. They learn through trial and error, often experimenting with different actions to find a solution. This behavior aligns with design thinking and iterative development approaches, where failure is not the end but part of the learning cycle. They also have an uncanny ability to escape enclosures, a reminder to project managers not to underestimate constraints and to challenge boundaries of assumed limitations. Autonomy in the octopus world doesn't equal chaos, it leads to innovation. For PMs, it's a call to build teams where individuals have space to act, test, and contribute creatively without excessive oversight. Octopuses don't ask permission to problem solve, they're programmed to act, assess, and evolve. Encouraging this mindset within teams fosters resilience, creative breakthroughs, and distributed ownership. Ultimately, the octopus represents a future-forward project management model, decentralized, creative, self-managing, and fiercely adaptive. Its lessons are especially potent in innovation projects, where the unknown is the norm. 8. Natural cycles. Time management and project rhythms. Nature moves in cycles, day and night, seasons, tides, moon phases, all of which dictate the rhythm of life across species. These cycles teach an essential truth: timing matters, and so does rest. In project management, there is often an overemphasis on constant output, relentless deadlines, and 24/7 engagement. But nature shows us that productivity comes from respecting phases. There's a time for planting, a time for growth, and a time for harvest. The concept of project phases, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closure, echoes the natural cycle. Trying to rush or skip phases, like planting seeds without preparing soil, results in weak outcomes. Effective project management mirrors seasonal balance. Planning as winter, quiet, strategic; initiation as spring, fresh starts; execution as summer, peak intensity; and closure as autumn, gathering results and preparing for rest. Tidal patterns also offer a metaphor: periods of high and low activity. In fast-paced projects, it's crucial to build in ebbs and flows, time for reflection, team recovery, and re-evaluation. Teams cannot remain in high tide indefinitely without burnout. The agile concept of retrospectives after sprints reflects this: moments to pause, evaluate, and course correct. Moon cycles, which affect animal behavior and oceanic systems, remind us of subtle but powerful influences, much like stakeholder sentiment, political shifts, or market trends in project environments. A good project manager is attuned not just to deliverables, but to the less visible rhythms that can affect momentum. Natural cycles also encourage respect for downtime as a source of strength. Just as trees shed leaves to survive winter, project teams need sanctioned rest to recover creativity and clarity. Sustainable project success is not about speed, but about rhythm, timing, and regenerative flow. In essence, nature's cycles remind PMs that long-term success requires pacing, not just pushing. Honor the rhythm, and the results will follow. Wild wisdom for modern project managers. Nature doesn't just inspire poets and painters. It teaches engineers, strategists, and leaders. By observing the natural world, project managers can uncover hidden strategies for resilience, collaboration, adaptability, and efficiency. Whether it's the leadership structure of wolves, the foresight of squirrels, or the self-organizing intelligence of ant colonies, the animal kingdom and ecosystems offer metaphors and methods that can elevate project performance. Embracing these organic principles in the artificial constructs of our project environments brings us closer to holistic, sustainable success, and reminds us that sometimes, the best project manager might not be human at all.